So a lot of people have, let's just say, misconceptions about Mary Jane in Spider-Man 3. People say she is selfish and makes everything about her, and in worst cases she's called a bitch. And if you ask me, there's a big fundamental problem into thinking this way that people should change. What's up everyone, hope you're all doing well. Today I'm gonna talk about this misconception of MJ in Spider-Man 3 and why I think it is so important to start thinking differently for your own life, but also what you can learn from this topic. That being said, let's get right into it. So I'm specifically gonna talk about this scene, which I think most of the problems of MJ come from. In this scene, MJ got bad reviews for her show. She vents to Peter and talks about her problems, talks about the way she feels. Peter then says this:
"You are great. That's a critic. This is something you're gonna have to get used to. Believe me, I know. Spider-Man gets attacked all the time."
This isn't about you. This is about me. It's about my career.
I know, and I'm just saying you can't let it bring you down. You just gotta believe in yourself and you pull yourself together, you get right back on the horse and...
Don't give me the horse thing. Try and understand how I feel.
So lots of people say that MJ is being self-centered in this and throws Peter's advice in his face when he was being so quote-unquote nice to help her. And if you think MJ is self-centered in this scene, try to imagine this. Imagine your father abused you your whole life, telling you this:
"You're trash! You're always gonna be trash, just like her!"
Then you finally get your dream job. You prove your father wrong. But that dream job is a job where people's opinions of you are critical to your success. If people do not like you, you're out of the business. So then you get a bad review and you feel horrible about it, as your father always said you were gonna be worthless. You go up to your significant other, one of the most important people to you, to vent, to talk about it, to feel understood, to feel some ease and have someone make you feel good enough or okay. And the person starts talking about him, talks about their life and how they overcame their hardship, and talks about the simple pep talk that you could have found on Instagram. Hopefully this made sense to you. Because we've all had moments where we had a bad day and someone threw an Instagram quote on us thinking that is the right thing to say, and I think a lot of us can say that those things do not make us feel better. People say Peter is trying to empathize with her, and no, he's not. I'm not saying Peter doesn't have any good intentions in this scene, but Peter is so obviously projecting his own success here. If he empathized with her, she wouldn't have said, "Try to understand how I feel," because that is all what she wanted, to feel understood. That is all any of us want when we've had a bad day. Instead, he boasts about his own success and acts like it's that easy. And even the movie proves Peter's behavior is wrong, because what did Aunt May say to Peter about marrying MJ?
A man has to be understanding and put his wife before himself. Can you do that, Peter?
But while we're talking about empathy, we also have to understand that it's also logical why Peter acts like this as well. Peter exudes iffy behavior, but it's not badly written. His life in Spider-Man 2 was horrible, yet at the end he overcame it, and that makes him feel on top of the world. So of course he's gonna think every problem can be solved by simply believing in yourself. Of course he's gonna think setbacks like bad reviews are nothing. He's on a high and his ego is feeding him. But that should be changed, as he's obviously damaging his relationships, which is what the movie is about. And to be frank, people not realizing that Peter is in the wrong here honestly really makes me concerned about their emotional intelligence. I'm not trying to be mean, but this is a crucial skill that lots of people need. I also believe that this complaint kinda stems from misogynistic reasonings. I don't want to jump to conclusions, but it feels quite in line with the sexist take men have on women, where they need to act harmonic 24/7 and that they can't have their own emotions or struggles. People expect MJ, and I would say women in general, to react to Peter with, "Oh, thank you so much, sweetie, for your words. You're such a supportive boyfriend," when that is not deserved or the reality we live in. Like I said, Peter was boasting his own ego, and besides that, hello, us humans have complex emotions, trauma we've been through, things that are on our minds, and we can carry baggage that can be fixed by a simple "you just gotta believe in yourself." We can't just expect that. Believe me, I could be guilty of this as well in some way, but that needs to be understood. Feelings need to be understood. If Peter did this the right way and empathized with her, his first response would be, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Would you like to elaborate? Can I do something for you? How did it make you feel?" That is empathy. So if there's a right way to do this, watch how Clark reacts to Lois when she is mad in Superman and Lois, and how he doesn't prioritize his own input and tries to understand Lois' feelings.
But lately, with everything that's going on with the boys and my dad constantly in your ear, it feels like I'm really far down on your list of priorities.
Is that honestly how you feel? Lois, about the other thing,
What? I'm right, you're wrong.
I understand why you would think that.
Do you know what it was like when my dad gave John Henry Irons the go-ahead to fire the missile?
I'm sorry.
Of course, the situations are different, but Clark does a much better job to try to be on the same level as Lois. So the takeaway of this video is to simply be more understanding. If you face a situation like this, try to think about what the other person would like to hear instead of what you would like to say. A simple thing, but these days it gets so forgotten. Bite your tongue when you feel like you want to be the person with the quote-unquote smarter outlook on life. Don't minimize or downplay other people's feelings when they're clearly having a hard time. Try to realize there's a reason why people act or feel the way they do, and be supportively nuanced about that. Think about possibilities why this person could feel or act this way. Can you think of similar things you went through that you could relate to? Detach yourself from the way you feel about your life right now and look at other people's lives. Be open for any kind of emotion or thing people go through. In general, put yourself in the other person's shoes, and if you can't do that, absorb all the way to see what you can understand from it. If you're liking this video so far and would like more people to be empathetic so that we can have healthier relationships, or if you also want more people to know about this misconception of MJ, drop me a like if you want so that YouTube can spread this video to other people, or if you just want to support me. To give you another example of this mindset, I recently had a coffee with a good friend who I haven't seen in a year, and he was like, "So how have you been?" And I say, "Well, I've been going through some stuff." And he listened there for 2 hours and didn't say anything about his life except own examples to relate to my situation. I felt so heard and cared for, it was mesmerizing. That's the effect of just trying to listen and understand. And I generally hope more people can be like that. Messages like this are great, but I personally need a regular reminder of why I need to think like this every so often. That's why I regularly try to make videos like this, and if you would like that regular inspiration from movies as well, or if you just like video essays, hit the subscribe button to stay notified for my upcoming videos. I want to thank my friend Mastani on Twitter a lot, because he's the one who came up with the idea of this video. I also want to thank my other friends who also helped with the topic of this video. Check out my How to Be Like Superman video if you like my example of Clark's behavior. Check out this video if you want to know the exact reason why Peter loses his powers in Spider-Man 2. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.